as you were.
I wasn't saying much. I was just saying if your home cooking causes you to drive 2 hours for McDonald's,
She won't cook it though.
nothing compares. Nothing compares to that love that's put into food. And I think that our generation, because of this just eat culture, you realise there's a whole bunch of people that just don't know how to cook. They're scared of a kitchen. How are you a meat eater and you're scared to touch meat? What's wrong with you? How do you?
But you have to understand, so many people, as like a Western people, we are so used to the end product. Like, don't get me wrong, turkey breast and whatever is right there in the supermarket, but so many people are so used to just seeing the end product
Finished.
to the point where there's people that say, I don't like chicken on the bone, like I just want the meat, and it's like that's the end, and like you don't even want the bones with it, like you know what I mean. Like I'll never forget,
when you grow up like us,
it's
now,
fast. Like think about it, chicken nuggets. Some people, they don't even know that they like. Well, they only know it's chicken because of the first word is chicken, but I want nuggets.
Yeah,
I want nuggets.
Nuggets can be anything.
Nuggets.
Nuggets can be mechanically separated meat.
That could be bat nuggets
That could
as well.
be the last trace of dog food. Literally, if I got dog food today, stamped it in a little circular type shape, fried it, put it in and say, you have the nuggets.
I ain't never gonna look at nuggets the same now, yo.
That's what I'm saying. This is the
our
people's palate
preference
then.
to do with nuggets.
Because if you think about people's palate, they sat there in a lab and said, how can we, because of these vegans, these fake vegans, no, they're going to send for me, but we want to have meat, but we're vegans, we want something that tastes like meat. Why? What for? You're a vegan, don't be reaching for meat-flavoured vegetables. Why? What for?
I do agree though.
So they're sitting in a lab,
seasoning your vegetables with chicken seasoning.
No, but the thing is, they're sitting in a lab. They're sitting in a lab today, and they're saying, "How can we create a meat product without killing meat?" Yeah, what is that about?
But I swear the thing is, I think vaguely what I recall from their argument, when I remember I was listening to one woman talk, and she was just like, the thing is, people don't like meat; they like the texture, right? So if all they're after is the texture, then we can reinvent the texture, right? And then just use the same flavors that we use with meat. Hence is why they're using the chicken seasoning or whatever it is on that different texture.
No, it's not.
I know.
Sacrifice.
Don't get me wrong.
The point.
It's a joke. It's a joke thing because I've been around some real queens here, and when they're getting busy in the kitchen and that, and there ain't none of them things ain't there. It's just vegetable. The pot's boiling and things are going down and things are popping off in the oven. And when it's all said and done, it's like there's a whole meal there.
Listen.
And there ain't no meat inside and it looks wavy.
Garlic, onion, spring onion and them things make a kitchen smell different, you know. No meat involved yet, you know. That will make a kitchen smell sweet, boy. But I mean, big up to the vegans because fuck that. It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
And lamb.
But my point is,
And beef.
It wasn't even about. It wasn't about the.
But I wouldn't even go so far as to call it. I wouldn't even go so far as to give my name a title. I just want to eat some more greens and a little less meat because I know my body appreciates one more than the other. Like, and my tongue enjoys like. Oh wow, that was gonna sound so wild.
Crazy, I was watching.
That was gonna sound so wild. I'm so glad I saw. Imagine what almost came out my mouth. My tongue, not really saying it. My tongue enjoyed the taste of meat. Mazine. Like, you know, my brain says stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't even finish that sentence, big man. Loud. But listen, one like what your mouth enjoys is not the same. What's good? Oh, there's a saying. What's good for the tongue isn't so good for the stomach. There's a smoother way to say it, but I can't recall it right now.
It makes sense just like that, right?
Oh, maybe it's like what's I don't know. Maybe what's sweet for the mouth is sour for the stomach. Something like that.
I don't even
But
know.
it's one of them ways there. But like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, all right, when you're biting a vegetable, a broccoli, a spinach, or all them things that I'm like me. I'm not really about my vegetables. I love a sweet potatoes. Like certain vegetables I do rock with. Do you know what I mean? My sweet corn, sweet peppers. No. I got vegetables that I rock with, but I'm not I'm not a vegetable connoisseur. Like, I don't want them all.
Forgive me though. Is sweet potato a vegetable?
Yeah.
Sweet potato, yeah.
I know the sweet potato. I didn't realize. You know when you had sweet potato pudding back in the day, and that?
No, I never had it.
I swear it's all vibe. You wouldn't think it was a sweet potato. I'll tell you that much for free.
But all my point was is if you're a vegan,
you're a vegetable.
You're a vegan. You're a vegan for being you're a vegan, yeah. So why would you need to taste what's it called? A product that's made out of vegetables but has a meat texture, taste. Why?
It's the come down.
No. It's like me saying, I don't eat pork, but I want
something that tastes like pork.
Yeah. It's not pork. It's made out of turkey, but it tastes like bacon. Why? What for? Do you know how dumb that is?
Yeah.
But
what that does is it gives these corrupt people from the different agencies in the world. No, it's not a joke. Like, you're laughing.
Not what you were calling the vegans corrupt. Sorry.
No, I'm cool with vegans. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a vegan, but where do you stand? Are you a vegan or are you a person that buys manufactured products in Tesco? Talking about, I eat veggie burgers. What's in a veggie burger? You eat Beyond Meat. What is Beyond Meat? Now you're saying, it's got carcinogens in it. So make up your mind. If you're a vegan, you go outside, you investigate what you're eating, and you stick to your diet, your plant-based diet. But don't swing around talking about you're vegan and you're going and buying these products that are produced by the same people that produce meat. Doesn't make sense.
No, it don't sound like
and
it
then they
makes
sit
sense
in a lab and say, how can we make this like meat?
But
just eat the meat and done, innit? Just eat what it is, because that just makes space for poison. That's just making space for poison.
Just get your chicken burger and cool up.
Let me paint this in a different way then, yeah? Alright, say for example, I'm on sugar, not meat, right? And I know sugar's taking me nowhere nice, right? So I'm trying to curb my interest in sugar. So I was on to Coke, on to Sprite, 7-Up. Say liquid sugars are my thing, yeah? And then I'm like, alright, I'm trying to curb this thing, but it's hard. So instead of like the full blown sugar thing, let me grab the one that's 30% less sugar. And then from 30% less sugar, let me try the substitute one, fructose or whatever they got. Aspartame,
Sweet
whatever
bits.
artificial sucralose. Let me come off the sugar and let me go to the artificial sugar. So I'm not taking in the sugar like that. Yeah, so I've taken it down one peg. I've gone from real sugar to half sugar to artificial sugar. So now I've made it to the point where I'm not even eating sugar anymore, right? I'm eating like substitutes. And then I creep now, and I'm like, boom, now I'm not even eating the artificial ones. I'm just having juice or water or dilute. I'm not even on the fizzy and the sugar no more. Like, is it not a stepping stone is what I'm trying to say. Like, this, because think about it, yeah? You start but if you're a meat eater, you probably in the first year and a half of your life, you're introduced to a young, maybe blended chicken with whatever and mashed down rice, or you start to, you know what I mean? Meat comes your way if that's your family's like trade of food and they're not already vegetarian or Rastafarian, or you know what I mean? That makes your life easier. That's where it starts. So now you're conditioned to this, whether it's the taste, the texture, whatever it is, you're conditioned to eating meat the last, let's say 15, 20 years of your life. Even at my age, 27 years of eating meat. Wow, pause. But, and it's like, for me to now, like, even I know to myself, I say, I'd love to just eat the greens, because I know my body would thrive off of it. But I can't stop 27 years of habit like that. Which is why I believe there is a need for these substitutes that people are drawn to. Like, I don't get me wrong, sometimes I think it's a joke thing. Like, I saw one woman on Twitter, and she was like, you see carrots. But you know what I see? She got like the grated thing. She started shaving off the carrot, like strips of the carrot, and then she was like, I see bacon. Started putting all sorts of nonsense on. 3, 2, 1. But in the same way, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But what wouldn't you start in a pure way? If you're gonna sit there and say you're a vegan, right? Because remember, there's always been vegan. Rastafari was always vegan, and no one respected that. Yeah, no one respected Rastafarianism up until the other day. There was always there was some slant on it. They never walked around saying they were vegan. The problem with this society is everything has to be a cult, a culture. Everyone has to jump on it. Now, the purity of the whole thing is you're a vegan. You're eating plant based. Yeah. So respect the plant based. Then stop trying to manipulate it to be something it's not. You want veggie burgers. You know, there's people out here. I know there's plenty of YouTube, Facebook, Instagram pages. There's people that sit there and make recipes, pure plant. They sit down and make the flavor combinations for you to make the recipe. But you're putting that I can't speak. You're putting that in someone else's hands when you're saying, all right, Tesco, they got veggie burgers, they got this, they got that. You're diluting what you stand for, because you're going for, I want it to taste like meat. Either you're about the plant based or you're not. You're not.
Yeah, if I feel like I'm gonna drop out meat, then I have to. That's part of what I gotta make up to myself to say I'm not gonna be tasting that anymore. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Because there's a chemical aspect of it. You're a human being. You're chemical.
I get what you're saying.
Chemical and you're balanced.
But I've seen. Do you know what it is? Yeah. I know people that have just tried to do it in like the way you explain it, like
cut cold turkey.
F this meat thing.
Yeah.
From today onwards, no more meat. Not in my Haribos. I'm eating the halal ones. If I want my sweets, no gelatin, no nothing. And a month later, they might all end up in A&E. Yeah, or they don't look right. Yeah, they look frail because it's a shock to the system.
No, but it's not a shock to the system. The way they went about it was abrupt and wrong. There's a way to do things. It's like introducing your newborn child to solids. You know how to do that. You ease them into it.
Yeah.
So when you're being a vegan, you ease yourself into that. You don't just jump into it. It doesn't mean that you go to the shop and buy chemically enhanced food and jump on a high horse talking about I'm vegan now. Follow me. I'm gonna review all these burgers and because you're supporting something away from the lifestyle.
But what if the de-escalation of the meat lifestyle, however guided or misguided that it may be, is bacon carrots?
Bacon carrots.
Like the bacon carrots.
The thing is,
the woman from Twitter with the bacon carrots.
She done the bacon carrots because she's eaten bacon and she said this tastes like bacon if I mash this up and do that. It's not necessary.
I can't lie. I don't think you should crave meat. I don't think it's right to crave meat flavors from vegetable substance.
Of course.
It's a backwards thing, but I understand how you have to. I understand if it's part of your journey.
Yeah, that's fine. But when you're putting it as a forefront, as a thing, like a culture, then what can I say? I only know that there's plant-based, there's veganism, right? And different people class veganism as different things. Like some vegans will not sit on a leather couch because it's leather. There's vegans that won't buy leather shoes.
I feel like those are the ones that I got big up to respect.
Yeah,
do it with your chest.
They don't. You know what?
There's a lot of vegan girls out here rocking leather bags and all them things. No.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I'm saying don't wear that shit.
Everything gets contaminated. You can't guarantee anything.
And with
the fact, this is my point. My main point. I'm not dissing anyone who's vegan. I respect people's, choice of what they want to eat. It's your life. But personally, I don't want your choices to end up with me having to eat genetically modified meat because you think it's wrong that there's agricultural aspects that destroy the earth, because of farming. Yeah, that's my point. Agricultural, avocados, because of the way people are moving about avocados, they're killing off a whole landscape in places like Chile. And Peru.
Yeah, no.
You understand what I'm saying?
Somebody fill me in. What's going on here? What's wrong with that?
So all I'm saying is, obviously, you have the right to choose your diet. Yeah? That's fine. You can be a vegan, but a lot of vegan standpoint is agriculture, which is, the land that animals are on, is damaging to the earth because of the way they process meats and the way they change everything. They change.
Stop making that noise.
they changed the landscape and that for farming, yeah. So obviously, you know, I understand that and I respect it, but at the same time, because of the way the vegan fad, because there's a difference between a humble vegan and a faddy vegan. There's people that do stuff for the gram all the time. We know this.
We know them.
We know this. So avocados, for example, is wiping out whole populations because the way they farm it there's places in Peru, Chile, all these kind of places, they're barren of water because companies go in there, they suck up all the groundwater and suck it back up into their avocado farms, and all the avocados go to Europe. And that's because now all of a sudden Europeans and European culture demands avocados. In our culture, you know, Caribbean culture, we've always eaten avocados all the time. Yeah. We used to eat them back in the day when no one else did.
I never liked them, for the record.
Yeah, you know, so it was a part of our life. Normally, a lot of people, South Americans,
it was a part of the diet. It was a part of the diet.
So now, because of fad and demand of this culture, veganism, and you know, what's the word? What do you call these people? Eco warriors and such things. I don't know what they're called in it. I don't know what they're called. But
we just call them eco warriors.
Environmental activists, no?
Okay.
I think that's the politically correct.
Okay, politically correct. But we, you know me. I'm not politically correct 90% of the time. That's why I get a problem, you know. So I respect your choice to choose to be a vegan, but be pure on it. You know, don't just do it because you can get likes and follows and you can take pictures. Really think about why are you doing this. If your lifestyle impinges on mine, then I got to speak on it. Because now they're saying, oh yeah, we're going to start growing meat in labs. Because you're uncomfortable with the agricultural impacts of meat. Yeah. And the people that don't have, we take for granted that we can go to the shop and buy vegan this and vegan that. There's people that don't have that choice. They live in landlocked countries. They have low rainfall. So they can't be growing up all these plants and saying, yeah, I want a plant-based diet. They're cattle farmers. I come from cattle farmers. They live on the border of the Sahara Desert. Are they going to be like, oh, we're going to stop eating meat because it hurts the environment? No, it doesn't hurt the environment. It's the way that the Western world has gone about the farming.
Listen,
that's the issue.
If I lived overseas in the Caribbean, like where I come from and how we keep our animals the way we do down there, different to what they see from animal cruelty and so on. I'm eating my lamb, my chicken. I'm eating all of that.
Yeah.
I'm eating all of it, definitely. So that's their business. You got people that don't eat the meat because of, as you said, the agriculture standpoint from it, and then you got people that don't eat it because of the health reasons, right? So those people that don't eat it for the health reason, then cool, big up on you. But if it's to do with how the animals are kept, you could go somewhere and eat meat from where it's kept in a better and more decent standard. That's their business. I'm eating meat.
Yeah.
I'm eating meat. After this, I'm going to go buy chicken or lamb. I don't know. Even McDonald's. You know, people going to say, oh, Johnny, how you eat McDonald's? McDonald's is bad.
Any type of meat you can get your hands on.
No, not what he said. Not what he said.
That's what I heard you say.
I'm telling you, that's not what I said.
That's what I heard.
That's definitely not what I said.
I heard you was
I think everything has a balance. It's just a balance. Like, people eat meat, people don't. I don't think that we should demonize vegans for being vegan, but I don't like the fact that now everything's a cultural change. Like, you don't need to change everyone's mind. If you want to do that and you have the means to do that, do it. You want to have a vegan bar, have a vegan bar. If you want to be a meat eater and have a Johnny's big old grill and slab of meat on there, slap it down, cool.
Well, I got to have my name on there, yo. That's not me. That's not me. I just want to tell you, that's not me.
Okay, Big Joe there. Big Joe.
Call it Big Joe.
Grill. Yeah,
King Joe.
That's calm. Like, I think that people now, they get offended very easily about everything. We should have tolerance.
Yeah.
But we need to stop.
The world's more sensitive now.
But why though? Why? I'm wasted a bit like, but why?
Do you know what it is? I just think we're at a place in society where there's a lot more room for opinion, and with the tools we've been given by the powers that be, of the social media worlds, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the internet, tech, is like China keeps the prices low on things. Everything's quite widely accessible, and it's just like we have our opinion and our output is more powerful and influential when concentrated than it ever has been. Like for an example today, with my man who. The latest I can't breathe victim.
Yeah.
Why did you say it?
You know what? The way it's crazy as it sounds, he's the latest. Because there's been so many of them.
Yeah.
I don't think I said anything wrong.
No, but the way you said it, I wasn't expecting that to come out like that. I thought you were going to say something else.
Yeah, but because I haven't really looked.
I'm getting sick of them Americans. I can't lie.
I haven't looked too deep into it, but
I'm sick of them.
It's like when Kim K does a nude. You can't avoid it. You're gonna be forced.
I've never actually seen none of them. So
not even a tape.
No,
you ain't seen Ray J Pack clapping it down.
Nope.
I wasn't even saying.
Yeah, I seen that. I see that.
But anyway, that's what I'm saying. But anyway,
he's got a name. Isn't his name George Floyd or something?
Who? Oh yes, George Floyd. Yes.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Can we say it like that? Can you edit that bit where I laughed? I don't want no.
Serious.
Yeah, but I was very serious, but I didn't expect you to say.
Hold on. So where was I going with this?
The latest George Floyd.
I'm so forgetful. Yeah. So it's just like
I know what I think I know what you was getting at.
With what was happening,
you were saying like the all voices as a collective makes it different.
Yeah. So boom. So it's like, all right, now everyone's up in arms. Everyone's like starting to move mad. Rioting the language of an oppressed or frustrated people. And online now, it's like, okay, what people who are far removed from the situation? Like I can't bop out today and go move mad with them, because I can't lie, it was cool where it was. All that goes up through the mic still. But what's the word? So with that now, it's like, all right, we can't go there and run riot in the streets with you. However, what we can do is make noise online. Yeah. And that's the most you can do. I'm in London. I'm thousands. I'm on the other side of the ocean. B. I can't throw a brick for you. Like, you know what I mean? I can't draw a picket sign. But so our easiest way to share empathy for the situation is you're making hella noise with the mic when you do that. But what's the word? Sugar. Yeah, but so basically,
you can't throw no bricks from where you're at.
Yeah. So
you're online.
Come on, Dubai. Yeah. So obviously we express ourselves online, right? And it's like, so the best example I saw was like maybe some people when it's things like this, they say it's a bit sticky still, innit? Especially companies, personalities, certain profiles in the public, right? But then the general public's kind of like, hold on, you know what? I can't lie, something serious is going on right now, and I don't like how quiet you're being about it, big man. You mean to tell me all of this is happening and you ain't got nothing to say?
Yeah.
What? You just wanna post your latest selfie or your latest social or your latest ad that you're doing paid promotion for?
Yeah, that's what they were saying about Fashion Nova.
Yeah, exactly my point. I was building up to that. So they was just like, hold on, because when you're ready, you love what's going on with us, and then obviously it's no surprise that like obviously. They fuck with our highs heavy, and they snake when we're on our lows, innit?
Of course.
And that's why in moments like that, when I can't lie, like when I see the Chinese people on Sky News and that saying no one's coming to our shops anymore, and people are moving away from me on the bus, and people won't stand next to me or or unfortunately you get some small-minded people that will just start cussing you out like you're COVID itself. You get me? But like when that happens and I hear them like doing woe is me about it on the news, I'm like, okay. Tell us more.
Just a little moment of being black, baby.
Yeah, but not even a moment.
And then even now, do you know what I was enjoying? I can't lie, I can't lie, no, because we've been in the hot seat. You see, when it comes to the news, and unfortunates, we get to that seat
Regular.
That's our main seat.
Lately, yeah, we've been riding
That's
that
our
seat for years.
Sometimes we stand up for a little bit and someone sits down, but it's
like musical chairs and that. But you see when the music stops, and it's another group's turn to sit down in that chair.
They can't take it.
Remember when the Muslim community was under smoke for time?
Yeah, pressure.
Hey, and you know what it is, They kept running up to anyone they could find, and they'll stick it. Do you know what? It wasn't fair because the media man, they'll be there and they'll be like, do you condemn the actions of so and so? Everyone, had to condemn the actions of the one random person, that said, I'm gonna chef someone up today and say Allah Akbar or something like that. It's techie, and that's not even a bad word. That's not even a bad word. You see, to the English ears, do you know how scary that word sounds?
All they know.
That is one of the. I think you can Google it.
All they know is
one of the most feared words.
It's not scary.
People feel what they don't understand.
Yeah, very much so.
No, it's not. They don't. It's not. They fear what they don't understand. They fear what the media showed them to fear. Because before that, you was living next to your Muslim neighbor quite fine until the media said, "Rah, this person wearing a headscarf."
But they were under siege. Like when I say, like the media was peppering them, and then you had the MPs. One of them, we called them ninjas. Was it Boris? Boris said they look like ninjas, didn't it? You get me? Like, so that's what I'm saying. No, Boris Johnson said that and he had to take it back.
You know why I'm laughing though, because this man is in power. Like you get uncomfortable when I say a little 2 lines on Insta, but you let that man be in power. Real talk, man.
No, they stuck it on him though. You have to apologize.
No, stuck it on him business. That's the guy that they let run it. And
no, but you have to. This is England, you know.
No, this is the thing. This is the thing. They won't forgive you. They won't forgive you for much less than what he just did. They won't forgive you. Remember, if a guy does one thing, all black guys did it. So when you get shot, stabbed, whatever, when I see a black guy getting shot, stabbed, killed, I can feel it because they're my people and they're me. They're my brother, they're my cousin, they're you lot. Do you understand? That's how I see it. That's how I connect to it. So obviously I know how that feels on a personal level. Now, they are quick to say, the way you dress and the way you act is intimidation. Yeah, That's why they can put you as security real quick, because they're intimidation. Big and black. I know no one ever like, even if you're small, you're big and black. That's it. They're cool with that. But at the moment you say, yo, I'm uncomfortable with the way you're treating me, I can't breathe, you're on my neck. The man was kneeling on next man's jugular, foaming at the mouth, and there's 3 men hiding behind the car. When you express your disdain for the way you're being treated, everyone has a problem. Why are black people victimized? Why are black people complaining? Why are black women angry? Listen, live my life for one day. You can't even handle it when a man puts a camera to your face as a black man and says, put your dog on the lead. You start calling the cops. Shit, black
Karen?
Yeah, Karen. You get called Karen and you start going up in arms on Twitter and saying, I'm offended. Think about it like this on an even more basic level. They will give someone like Katie Hopkins a whole radio show to smear bigotry and lies and just sheer hate for no reason. But as a black woman, I can't say I don't like the way that they treat me in the workplace. I have to change my hair just to have a job. I have to change my composure just so people in my workplace don't treat me like an N-word. Let's be real, because I don't use that language, but you know, when you look at it like that, if I have a vocal disposition to tell you how I feel, if I'm in a situation where I'm uncool, you better hear that. If you don't want to hear it, then don't do it. But I can't reason with people that are so used to getting away with the same set behaviours for generations. You benefit from my death. You benefit from my uncomfortability. Remember that culturally, UK doesn't have anything without us. It has nothing. Without the Asians, without any foreigners, what does the UK have?
Dogging.
Yeah. Bro, I'm talking about on a real level.
That's
What?
certified
No,
British
but
culture.
it's not. That's,
Certified.
listen, their history, UK history, what I was taught in school, Henry VIII, Charles, all them people, their history is a violent, turbulent history. Yeah. Their history is coming to my country, seeing what I had as a nation, my people, what they had, not me personally, because I don't have nothing, but my culture, my morals, my standards, because these are my people, and saying I want that. So they're willing to kill you and die for it, but they have a problem with you expressing the disdain 300 plus years later after you've worked for free. Your family have then been lied to and said, oh, you know what, slavery's ended, everything's cool, come to our country and build up our country for us, but you're still an N-word. Get off the road, Nigga, whatever. Then 3 generations down, if you are 3rd generation, because me now, I'm 2nd, I think, you're there in school and you're getting taught, you know, black people, they're from Africa, they live in huts, they live in famine. But hold on, bro. All when you go on holiday, have you ever heard them say, oh, I'm getting married in Poland? No, they say they go in Jamaica. So why are my people in Jamaica suffering and trying to come here then? But your holiday and your good time is where I'm from. Yeah. So that's the balance. Someone has to compromise. No, but on
Trying
the
to
real,
suppress the water, isn't it?
what is the culture? Tell me what the culture is, because I'm not uncomfortable talking about your history. What you're proud of is my oppression. You killing my people, and you call it colonization for your palate. For your palate, it was oppression, slavery, and murder. That's what it was. But you call it colonization for your palate. That's the truth. And we still suffer from it now. Oh, you're light skin, you're dark skin. Oh, she got Indian hair. Fam, you're Somali.
You ain't got no Indian hair. You're going into the colorism.
No, but this is a real thing. We suffer
it's
from
all of it.
It's 100%. There's girls here that are black. You're a black woman and you're there talking about, I mixed. Mixed with what? What's the mix about? Your pride is saying that you're not black. Why are you proud of that?
Yeah, because like they made it a thing to say like whatever beauty aesthetic that you show, it must be because you have something other than black in you.
But black is the home of civilization, so black has what we call black, African, Nubian, whatever you are, South African, whatever you are. It started right in here. Bro, stop it, man. West Indian, whatever. If you want to say Caribbean, South American, you know, it's the home of that. Every feature.
Chains in a minute,
every feature. It comes straight from Africa. Straight from Africa. Yeah. And you can see it in Africa today, but you take pride in saying, oh, I'm half like, I don't even know, man. I'm this and that. Be proud of who you are, and then you can.
Caribs were living in the Caribbean, and the Caribs killed off the Arawaks because they were like cannibals. So they attacked them and killed them and ate them off and boom, boom, boom. And they come to realize from archaeologists and studying their bones and stuff like that they were never cannibals, ever.
Yeah.
It's like, well, who told you that? Europeans.
Yeah.
All right. So 3, 2, 1. All right. So to round up, we're gonna open up with the a closing. We're gonna revisit a previous topic, which is what are we? So we're just gonna revisit that, open it back up again, redigest it, and go from there and just sign out. Peace and love and everything else.
Sure.
Yeah. What are we? To be or not to be?
I don't know. Don't ask me that shit.
Me personally, I've never asked anybody what are we. I think if one of your lady friends, I don't know, because guys don't generally ask what
I'm trying to
are
ask myself if I ever been in a position where I wanted the girl more than she wanted. Probably, I'm not gonna lie, but
have you ever asked that question?
It's not a strong. It's not
strong enough for you to have asked that question.
Because I'm trying to look back and I'm like, when was there a time where I was like, and you, like maybe you've linked up a couple times, you know the ones, and you're trying to secure a girl. Like I want you to be wife. Like, I want you to be my girlfriend or whatever time period this was in life, and I'm fishing back, and I was probably, if there ever was a time like that in my life, I was probably still in the school uniform. Because I can't think of anything. And nah.
I don't think.
I would like to think there was, but I can't recall it personally right now.
I don't
know. I've been prideful. Prideful for a long time, and probably now even more. So there was no time where I was trying to ask a girl, oh, what are we, or what are we doing, or do you like me back? Like,
I don't think you need to ask that question.
Asking no question like that.
I don't think you need to ask that question personally. Like, boy.
You know what? Sometimes people need to ask because they don't know. I feel like women be asking that question because
they already have the answer in their head of what the answer
think
is. Yeah, why would somebody ask, what are we, unless they've got that answer in their head? Or we are this, but I just want to affirm with Johnny that we are this. That's what it is. And if you give the wrong answer, that's how...
So go ahead, sorry, go on.
If you give that wrong answer, boy, that's when everything starts getting a bit rocky. Because at the end of the day, as an adult, if you go into a sexual-only relationship with somebody, and you catch feelings, that's when they start asking, what are we? That's the only time. If you're taking a girl out on dates, I'm just saying, if you're taking a girl out on dates, whining and dining her, taking her back to the crib, doing a little ting, 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 taking her places, why does she need to ask you, what are we? Because either she doesn't feel like she's getting the best out of you, or she's expecting more from you. That's the only two reasons she would ask, what are we? Because she's confused on why she feels like she's your girl, but you're not reciprocating that same energy. Like, I'm not getting treated like I'm your girl, so what are we?
Yeah.
That's what I see. It's not deep. Like,
I disagreed at all. And someone, I was speaking to someone on the subject, like a little while back, and not too long back actually. It was just the other day, and it was saying like, obviously it is in accountability of the man as well, because I guess they were thinking, we're coming from a perspective where it's like, oh, you're asking the girls, like, no, the girls asking the men all the time. But so it was like, oh yeah, men have to take accountability. That is a question that needs to be asked and answer the question when it is put to them. And of course, I feel sometimes a woman asks that question because either she has an idea, but she needs you to clarify, or she don't know, and she don't want to go further without it being clarified. Yeah, you answer the question. I would just say my point on it was, if you feel some kind of way, or you're not sure of what you are to someone, don't continue to give your emotions and your sex and your energy to someone if you're not sure. You know, but and even when you get the answer, make sure you're happy with the answer when you continue. Don't get the answer you don't want and then continue. You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of women feel, sometimes, not all women, but a lot of women feel like they can change a dude's mind.
No, you can't though.
You know what I mean?
The response. If a guy wants you, you will know. There's no doubt in my mind. I know when I'm a link, and I know when a guy likes me. There's a clear difference. The way he treats you is clearly different.
I'm swayable still. I'm partially open to having my mind changed.
Yeah, but that's.
It's not. Don't give up on your ambitions.
The thing is, look,
it's only impossible until somebody gets it done.
Yeah, but the thing is, what is that? That's a level of immaturity. If you are in a relationship, be it sexual, be it just, talking. If I'm just talking to Johnny now, and I'll just say your name. I keep using your name.
Close to home, but you have to keep it in the family around here.
Because he's the closest guy next to me, So obviously, if I'm talking to Johnny now, and I think, oh yeah, he's a nice guy, like I like him, obviously, that's something you feel inside yourself. Now, Johnny don't know nothing about that. If I like Johnny, how does Johnny know? Because I either let him know, because a lot of people, they think that guys have telekinesis or some kind of psychotic, what's it called? Psychic power. You know what I mean?
I was going to say.
Telekinesis is the wrong word. It's psychic, isn't it?
Telepathy. Is telepathy.
No, I need to get this right.
Telepathy. Yeah, well, I say different because I'm West Indian.
So telepathy. So they're going to know. The problem is, in this day and age, that people actually believe, because you posted a status on Insta that the guy's gonna know you like him. No. If you're linking a guy on an adult level and you have a sexual relationship and you want more, then you better demand more from it. And if the guy doesn't agree, then don't ask me what are we?
You gotta
Walk
say
him down again till he changes his mind.
No, but you can't, because pussy. You already gave him pussy for nothing. How can you walk a guy down when you already gave it to him when he didn't do nothing for you in the first place?
It's soul ties, isn't it?
No, soul ties. But the thing is,
You gotta walk him into your aura.
It's growing. It's being grown. This is why we have immature relationships, because you built your relationship on a sexual advancement, wanting more from a man without communicating your needs. How can a man know what you want if you can't? You don't even have the heart to communicate it. If you like a girl and you want her to know that you like her, you do things to let her know you like her. Then when you're not getting that reception, you say, look, Sue, I really like you, and this, you'll say sweet boy things, but it's a grown man thing. If you like a girl and you don't want no other guy to get her before you gotta secure that. Yeah. Just like you would secure the bag. Look how you walk up in an interview and express why you want the job. You even sell yourself short and tell blatant lies for that job to take you.
I drank coffee one time. I don't drink coffee, by the way, but I was in an interview one time,
and get your maca
35 racks, annually. And I drank coffee for that job interview. But man, don't drink coffee.
Yeah. Not usually.
You make that compromise. And
did you get the job?
No, I didn't get it still.
Oh, damn.
It was mad. I drank coffee for no reason. But I just, you know what it is? I know how far I'm willing to go. I'll take it there.
It boils down to a matter of pride, you know what I mean? If I want a guy, I like him, we're having a sexual relationship, and I say, well, I like you, man, I'm catching feelings, or you've got to have it in you to tell that man what you're expecting, what you need. Don't sit there and be upset and call your friends and say, so I've been linking him and we did this and this and now he's treating me like this. Well, how does he know? Because the grounds of your relationship started on a sexual basis and you're not grown enough as a man or woman. And I'm not excusing some of you man.
Yeah, it's meant to.
You guys lead us astray. Like, you put them little hints and little cones there to say, I'm down because you're getting pussy. You want to keep the pussy right there.
I don't sell dreams.
No, there's a lot of I can't lie. There's a lot of
I'm saying personally,
a lot of cheapskates out there. Sweet you up to keep the water running in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To keep everything flowing so we can get.
Maybe you might get that job. Call back on Wednesday.
Yeah, but
all of that stuff.
In your heart of hearts, you know when a guy likes you versus when a guy just links you. There's a difference. There's a clear difference. You can be cool with your link. This is an issue of a lot of people. They link a guy and they can't just let it be what it is. They want more. They want to manifest it into greater things. Do you know this person? Can you sit with this person on a silent day without no linking and sexual activity and be cool? If the answer is no, he's not for you. Can you rely on this person outside of the sexual means to satisfy you outside of sexual? Because there's going to be a point where you might be pregnant, you might be in a coma.
Unemployed.
You never know. Can you rely?
Sometimes you just gotta have a balance where it's just like if the situation is physical, sometimes it is what it is. Yeah. That's the balance, right? But then you get moments with other people now where what I think is important for people to just hold on to and practice is adult conversations. Yeah. If you lay out very clearly what and I'm not saying this can't be subject to change, but if you lay out your intentions very clearly, like, look, this is my situation, and this is you're a cool person, like, love you, rate your energy, like, enjoy your company, but this is what I'm here for, and this is what I'm into. Can you accommodate? And then and vice versa, she presents her side of things if need be. So, because sometimes you might just be telling your situation to her, and then it's just about whether she can rock with it or not. Like, look, I'm not looking for no one right now, but I'm into you, and if you want to do a little Netflix and chill every now and then, might kick it into overdrive, maybe 3 days a week. It might all be consecutive days, 2 days in a row, and then 1 day on the weekend. Like, you know what I mean? It can happen.
But the problem with that is, sorry to cut you, that's too deep. Because how are you saying couple days in a week and a couple days on the weekend? It's too deep because that's when women start catching all the kind of feelings.
Yeah, but the thing
You
is,
got to keep that. If you're gonna make it a sexual relationship, you got to understand women deal with things emotionally.
yeah.
You're putting her in a zone of emotional.
No, but there's some shower women. There's some shower women out there that can bench more than the average girl when it comes to emotional capacity.
But that's we're talking about the girls that say, "What are we?" We're not talking about girls who can detach themselves from the situation. I'm talking about the girls that are "What are we?" girls. You are giving them regular on week, like multiple times a week, even weekends, basically nearly 7 days of a week of your time. Now you're emotionally encasing them with your sexuality. You don't even understand it. You don't even realize you're tapping it out, but you're not realizing you're actually activating her in a way where she's starting to become emotionally attached.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
That's true.
That's human
that's
nature.
True. I should say you should never. That's a grown man. If that's a grown man rule, yeah, like you should never, because sometimes women being like the amazing like creatures that they are, yeah, sometimes a woman can't help but love you, yeah, and especially it's like you can activate a woman's love with your antics and your energy. So if you're, and that's why it's like when you are dealing in these type of like agreements and situationships, yeah, it's very important to have your contract. Like, so when I say your contract, I mean, this is my situation. Do you accept? This is your situation. Do you accept? And then once you've gone down that path, you do need to have your boundaries. And if you both stick to those boundaries, for example.
But we're talking about, we're detracting from the point. We're talking about the girls that say, "What are we?" These are not girls that stick to contracts. This is not you're binding words with physical action. Your physical action overrides what you said.
But if you get to the place that is, "What are we?"
Yeah.
Clearly, some boundaries along the way have been crossed.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're missing the point of physical action. Why did you? If I'm doing a thing with a guy, he's making me feel 110%. He's making me feel like $1 million. Yeah, and if I'm that type of woman where I'm emotionally embedded in you. Yeah, there's a point where things cross. There's a point where things are your physical action overrides your words. That's why physicality is more valid than. That's why they say actions speak louder than words. You're banging that. You're making her feel $1 million. You're giving her that good treatment. This is why guys that play with women like Future, for example, man's a dog. We know this. He's got bare pitney. He don't give a damn. But the women still run to him because his energy, the way he handles situations, the money. X, Y, Z, these are different factors. But if a girl's lying next to you in the bed after you've done the thing and said, "What are we?" and you've been linking for like, say, 2 years, it's because there's a part of her that has changed because of your physical interaction with her. It's nothing to do with our contract. What's your contract saying when you're getting your back blown out? Nothing. It's not in it.
But is that on her? That sounds, because you know what it is, yeah? One could say, yeah, that sounds like a you problem because I feel fine.
Yeah, but as a grown man, you always take that into consideration because you understand that your sexuality is more than just you going to her house, doing the thing, You got to remember, you leave a resonation with her. You leave a resonation in her. So if you understand that,
and on her face, if she's down.
No, but your physical, regardless of if you leave it on her back, on her face, down her throat, you're leaving a resonation inside of her first. And listen, you're not taking me serious.
I am.
No,
I swear to you. No, I'm really with you.
I'm trying to answer your question.
And I want the answer.
What are we? Why is she asking you what are we? Because of the way that you've made her feel, the 100%. Way that she's resonated with you. Yeah, she's asking you, what are we?
No, you said really just like the way you make me feel, and I could just hear MJ.
Yeah, the way you make me feel. Exactly, you know what I'm saying.
But so check it, right? Let me ask you a question. So right.
Yeah.
So the contract was the both of you are in a sexual relationship with no strings attached, right? That's how you say it, no strings attached.
Yeah.
Then more feelings have obviously joined the party, and now she's asking you, what are we?
Yeah.
Is it something that the man has done? He's changed. He said he's changed the way he's been with her. Did he change? What did he change?
It depends on the woman, innit? It's your expectations as a woman. If I don't engage in sexual activity with a man I'm not attracted to. I don't do it. So when you look at most women, they're not going to engage in a sexual activity with a man they're not attracted to. One, so that in itself is it's slightly a deal breaker, because if a woman's attracted to you in the first instance, that gives there's a gap here between your contract and how they feel, because they already feel like, oh, I'm attracted to him, so I'm going to give him everything, like I'm going to give him the goods, right? You're giving her the cookie rundown, namming it out, whatever. I don't know what you're about.
Baby oil,
baby oil, massage that, giving her the tap tap tap, whatever. Yeah, she's tapping out on the regular. Mummy said,
rub it down.
I took it too far. Mummy's coming through the door like, what's going on up there? There was there.
Now you gotta get the seasoning into the lamb.
So everyone wants to be emotionless. This is the thing. The contract is a verbal contract, but as I said, actions speak louder than words. So we're living in an environment. I can talk to any man on Insta socials right now. I can be in a relationship, talk to anyone. I can have multiple links if I'm that way inclined. Yeah, you can have a contract with multiple different men for multiple different reasons. But there's that one guy that has power over all of those guys. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, that's not me personally, but I see it all the time. You see it all the time. Girls get links, they get upset when the guy starts talking to next girls. Oh, you liked her picture, you did this and this. What are we? Yeah? Because they have already established in themselves what you are. Yeah? They've made up their mind. That's it. When they say, this is what guys never do. When a girl says, what are you? You never turn around and say, what are we? If I was a man, I'll ask you, what are we then? Because you're asking me that, so you've already got an answer. So what are we? Tell me what we are. And then when you listen to what she says, you know where you stand. But instead, man's going to turn over in the bed, say, I'll talk to you in the morning. Yeah? And that's where you get a problem, because you feel hard done by, you feel done dirty or whatever. I don't know. I've never asked the guy what.
You know what it is, and you see when you get over on that side, if you diffuse the situation, when you're in that pillow, you say, it's time to pull the plug, boy.
Yeah. Sometimes
because this is getting she's in too deep.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew I was walking there too. I was too deep in there.
You hitting belly?
No, you know when
can't hit belly.
Too heavy, man. I knew I shouldn't. You ever worried, that you're walking and it's like she's living her best life she's enjoying the woods so much. It's like, this is getting a bit too close. She's enjoying herself so much she might void the agreement.
All women have agreed.
I'm gonna have to dumb down the penis a little piece.
The thing is, women never agree to the contract. Men verbalize it, and women just agree because we're smart creatures. What we do, if you say to me, this is the contract, which no one ever really does.
No, that's smart.
That's true.
Yeah?
No,
we're smart enough to agree.
Read the terms and conditions.
We're smart enough to agree, knowing that sometime down the line, because if he keeps coming back, he must think I'm good. This is why I don't really need to talk about it with guys. Like, you don't talk about these things, you just do it and done, because it gets too complicated. I'm good. He keeps coming back. He keeps coming back to me, so I'm the one.
No,
but I'm not saying that. That's a lot of girls, though.
Don't make that mistake.
No, but that's what girls think. Yes or no? Have you not heard girls say that?
Yeah, I heard them say that.
And you see girls.
I was off work today.
You mean the pussy good? No, but check this. You see girls.
I mean the sex is good.
No, but check this. You will see girls. Say for example, Johnny again. Johnny's next to me.
I wanted some
say now, I'm linking Johnny. Charisse is linking Johnny. Ebony's linking Johnny, right? And everyone realised.
I just want to say this is hypotheticals.
We're all linking Johnny.
It's hypothetical.
Hypothetically, we're all linking Johnny, and then we find out, oh wait, I find out Ebony's linking Johnny now.
You know, I just want. Why is no one linking me?
You know,
all
you
of this.
You know my position. I don't like that. You know? So no,
I'm unlinkable.
No. I say it because Johnny's closest to me right now. If you were sitting here, I'll say the money, innit? But obviously,
I'm just saying you're portraying. You're portraying.
Let me drop it.
You're painting the picture. No one could be linking. No one could be.
No.
But hypothetically, not even hypothetically.
No, I'm talking.
That's what's killing me. Hypothetically, no one's even linking. Hypothetically, big man.
I can't hypothesize that because it could be dangerous for me personally.
I hate you.
So I find out. I keep it clean, man. I find out Ebony's linking Johnny now. So I message Ebony like, so are you linking Johnny? Yeah, I'm linking Johnny. But I'm like, he's my man. That's how it starts. You see girls fighting over guys, and you're realizing like, raw, why are they fighting over him? They don't fight him. They fight each other.
I thought they was fighting.
No.
Yeah, but they're fighting over him.
You know what it is? Sometimes it's just about the meat. Good meat is hard to find. I hear people be telling me that a lot. Good meat is hard to find.
Don't throw up. Don't even. Hey, I'm not even.
That's the word of the street. I hear like, and do you know what it is? Do you know how daunting? From what I hear girls say, yeah, how daunting the idea is of going out there, because you know what it is. Finding the next good meat means adding a body. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a man's problem. That's not a woman's problem. A man always say, "Oh, body count."
No, not really.
No, really.
It's like, it's hype to know that you slept with another person and didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, but guys do it all the time. They think about when they're smashing a mediocre pussy. They're thinking about, oh, they can make themselves come. Like that's not like girls think they got the thing. Guys can delve in it.
She doesn't know. I don't even need her there to achieve that.
Exactly. But tell that to a girl that you're with, and tell them that I don't need you to achieve that, boss. They get offended. They'll be like, why are you saying that? Whatever. But what was my point? I lost where I was.
Mediocre pussy, you lost me at
mediocre
pussy.
No, I'm saying like you every guy, well not every guy, but most guys have white pussy. I'm going back on myself. Anyway, back to the point. What are we? Women already know. When they ask you that question, they have a theoretical stance in their mind. They've already made up their mind what you are to them, and they just want to relay. They want to make sure you're relaying the same message. So instead of saying, well, we're linking, why don't you ask them, what are we? So you know their answer. Then you can make that definitive decision. Am I going to continue to link this woman on a sexual basis because she's catching feelings? But instead, you man will be like, I'm going to answer that tomorrow. You know what it is. This is what guys, you know what it is. You know I don't. That's why I'm asking you.
Well, after I just let my soul go.
Yeah.
What's on that?
You let your
thinking
soul
straight after that.
Yeah.
I ain't got time to think about that. My body is shutting down.
We know.
I couldn't escape if I wanted to. That's what. And that's
ask me all these A-class questions. These master
you think I want to think right now? Do you know what it is? Shit. I was at work today, yeah? And now I've showered and I've come to check you. My soul's been through a lot. And I've just put in work to a degree,
yeah?
Cardio.
I
aerobics
may not have the energy right now to answer that question. I may not have the spirit to summon the answer.
Squats.
Maybe if you were doing some more of the action, if I wasn't slamming for the both of us, you could get the answer to that question.
But that's not a real thing though, because really you're built for it. You're built your piece detracts from your body. I have to move my whole body to bounce on your team. Now that's long.
Yeah, but that's the point.
But I
not everybody bouncing.
The team doesn't. It's not like your toys, you know. It doesn't. It don't stand still. You don't stand still. And the team just starts to.
You prefer a full bounce or be in control? That's what you have to ask yourself. If the answer is you prefer a strong bounce, but you can't get that, you're going to be in control. You want me to bend your thing back because I can't bounce on it right? That's your choice. Yeah, exactly. Look at your face alone. That's it.
You know what? The real answer to it is if a girl asks you that, she deserves an answer. She got to know. You got to put it to her. You got to let her know what's up right now. Whether it's,
No, not right. So no, you don't have to. You don't have to.
In summary,
yeah.
Where are we on the matter?
So when a woman asks you, what are we?
Closing statement.
In my opinion, when a woman asks, what are we? She's already got her answer. She just wants you to check what you're going to say. And if you don't relay what she's trying to hear, you're going to have a problem. That's it. It's a problem. It might not be today. It will be in 2 weeks. It might be in 3 months. But you're going to have a problem because you've activated something in her to make her ask, what are we? If it was to the contract that you said, then there wouldn't be no questions to ask, is it? Because the contract is the contract.
And you said another good point as well. I feel like ladies as well, not even trying to be biased.
Your closing statement.
Yeah, real talk. Like, if you ask a man, what are we, and so on, but his answer doesn't match the idea of what you want the both of you to be, like, yo, we good, we working towards a relationship, and it's this and it's that, and it don't look like he's showing that.
Cradle the sack next time.
You got just go about your business.
Go, man.
Go about your business.
You can find someone else.
Yeah, go about your business.
Meet your needs.
There's a lot of there's too many. I think you know what it is. Sometimes there's all right. Especially if you're in a casual situation, there's one too many people out there for you to get too worked up over over a situation where two people aren't equally invested.
Yeah.
With that being said,
I ain't got no problem with dipping that, leaving the nigga.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Preservation. Sensible decisions.
Sensible decisions, people.
Transparent.
It's 2020.
Adult conversations.
Communication is
and
key.
Honesty before everything. Honesty and trust. If you don't trust this guy with your life, stop giving him your pussy. Because that is your life.
Yeah, we're gonna go into that on a different subject next time. Because I'll be hearing a lot of crazy stuff from the women, like, I wouldn't do this for my man. I'm not doing this. Like, why are you giving the nigga the pussy if you wouldn't even cook for him? Like, I don't understand what's like. I don't even know. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's right. Okay.
It's not even
No, hold on. Let me get this right. And I'm not saying from the jump. Like, you've been with a nigga for like a year plus.
Go.
A year plus, and you. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, cool.
So, do you know what it is? We're gonna pick up on that one next time.
We got to use the closing statements.
We can't even run off for the tangent.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, but we're gonna close it.
You got to keep it. You just got to keep it transparent and trustworthy. Don't chat to your girls before you chat to him. I think that a lot of the trifling starts when people add their 10 pence where it doesn't need to be added. That's it. Just keep your thing straight and narrow.
Your friends giving you advice when they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't take advice from anyone who hasn't been to the same depth or hasn't lived the same situation as you.
Nobody basically.
Because then they've got no advice.
Nobody.
They've got no advice. They've got no helpful advice to give you. You can't take sense from someone who's never been in your situation. Do you know what I mean? That would be very unwise to do. And I know, like, when you find yourself in a situation sometimes in life, you want to reach to your friend, but don't ask the friend who's never been where you've been, because it just won't. The advice won't be helpful. And
sometimes you have to be careful not to take certain advice from some of the friends when the friend knows that.
You've got to sign out visually, innit? All right. So we're in. So, yeah, it's been a good one today. You've been with myself, Devonte.
You know it is already. JR.
Lula.
Come on, we're all here. This is the trio. We're going to be coming to you live and direct every Sunday without fail. You get me? If you're still here, love and respect. This is Talk the Things.
Yes. And we'll after your Sunday dinner, you can come sit down with us and we talk the things as usual on a weekly basis.
Yeah. A nightcap.
Yeah, love and respect.
Something to sleep on.
Talk the Things.
Yeah, boy.